welcome back to the channel. So today is not going well, and it is supposed to be the day that we are doing our first cutting on our hay. We're already behind. We missed the first opening that we had, and we have been working on trying to buy equipment and then fix equipment and all of that, and it's turning into a really drawn out situation. So we still needed to buy a baler, and we finally did last week. We drove a long way. We ended up having to road haul it, which was really stressful and scary, but it turned out great. We got it home. It's in working condition, although it will need some repairs so that things don't start breaking. Obviously, it's an older baler, square baler. So all this week after working, my husband has been coming home and working on all of this equipment, trying to get it into, trying to get it ready for baling hay. So the first thing we did was work on the hay bine so that we could cut the hay, and we got that up and running, and we took it up into the field and did one swipe across the end of the field to make sure that it was working, and it did great. So we parked it up in the field in the position that we wanted it to be, and then came back down and started working on the rake. The rake needs minimal stuff right now. It had one pin sheared off, and so we went ahead and got it's a bolt, so we went ahead and got a new bolt for that we are replacing, and then we just had to clean out the gearbox and put new fluids and stuff in there and reseal all that, and basically it's ready to go. And then so our next thing was working on the baler, making sure that it was ready to go. We were told it was in working condition, and he had turned it on with the PTO for us, but we didn't actually see it baling. And there's a lot of loose parts and things like that that are going to need to be fixed at some point. But we took it, we got it all cleaned and all that, and we brought it up and just drove it across the hay that we had cut, and it baled it. So this was a few days later. So we parked that up in the hayfield as well, and thought that we were all ready to go. And my husband, we've been waiting and waiting for rain and the weather to cooperate. We're already late. Our grass is overgrown. It's gone to seed, and it's probably, about up to my chin or so in certain spots. So we're just kind of stressed out about that and about everything, on the farm that's going on. We think we're ready. My husband brings the tractor up this morning. We're just going to go ahead and get it cut today. That's been the plan for a few days. We don't know if it's going to rain in a couple days, if we're going to, I don't know. It's constantly changing, so we're constantly worried about the weather. And he took one pass across the field, and he said it broke. So the hay bine broke. So he came down and thought about what he was going to do for a while, and now he is trying to repair the hay bine again. So as a farmer, we need to get the hay. We need to get hay in the barn to feed the cows over winter. We can't wait on parts. We need to get the hay down. We're already behind. We can't wait for parts. And so as a farmer, we're just trying to be ingenuitive and fix it ourselves. Temporary fix to get it through, get the hay cut, and then we can worry about parts and getting it done right after the fact, but we need to get the hay cut. So tempers are flaring, people are stressed out, and we're just trying to get this done. So hopefully by the end of this video we're cutting hay, and yeah, hopefully we can get it going, because we need the hay really bad. So he got the piece welded up temporarily, and I'm just praying that it works. So far, so good. Fingers are crossed, saying our prayers that we can get the hay all cut today. We've got all of our field, and our neighbors, one of our neighbors said that he had a field that we could cut as well and have the hay. So just keep praying that the equipment stays functioning and working and we can get it all done. So I am going to walk over here to the west side of our property. The woods here, a while back when we were foraging out here, I noticed there were some tree limbs down and they might be in the way of the tractor. So I'm gonna just go ahead and walk all the way over here and check for down limbs and stuff. Make sure the field's all clear. Well, I noticed he just stopped over there, so I hope everything's okay. Alright, so alright, so he's moving again, so hopefully that means everything's okay. Hopefully he was just stopping for some branches or something. I found some sticks over there, and then under this tree, beech tree, there was a down branch, a really big one, like a whole limb down. So I drug that over to the side. Definitely don't want to be hitting that stuff with the hay bind. So I'm just going to walk the rest of this tree line to make sure grass sure is beautiful over here. All right, some deer trails. Oh man. Farming is not all good. It's not all perfect. It's not all happy. There is things that go wrong. There's stress factors. There's things that you depend on for your livelihood, for the livelihood of your animals, for your livestock that you're responsible for. So, all right. So I think that's probably about it. He's just gonna have to watch this brush pile here because I can't move all that. But we don't typically have it mowed all the way over to this. So I'm gonna go back there and check on him and make sure everything is okay. It is very, very humid out here. Feeling very sweaty. It's very humid and about 85 degrees right now. So it's quite the workout just walking around in the tall grass. And then I'm thinking, how many ticks am I going to be pulling off of myself later today? Whew. That's okay. Very worth it. I will take some ticks to get this hay in the barn for my cattle and my pigs and my rabbits and my, well, chickens don't really eat it, but for everyone. So you guys know already that this is our first time cutting hay ever. So we have been, one thing we've been really thinking about this week, talking about in the evenings and stuff, is the pattern in which we were going to cut the hay. So that might not be something that you think about if you don't cut hay, but when you do and you have to figure out the best way to navigate the field, especially a field shaped like ours that is not a big square. It takes some planning and thought, and the way you're going to maneuver that machinery can be kind of tricky. So we may not have the perfect route this first go round, but hope maybe second cutting will be a little bit better, or know what we liked and what we didn't like, and so on. And over time we will develop our perfect route in which to cut hay. So this go round, the route that we're kind of going with right now, we wanted to get as close to the edge of the fence as possible. So we decided to go counterclockwise so that the hay bine would be nice and close to the pasture fence. And from there my husband just went straight all the way down to the property line and then turned left, left again, until he was back to where he started from. And now he has done a 360, and he will now be going the opposite direction. He'll be going clockwise, so that now he'll be driving in the already cut hay instead of in the grass that has not been cut yet. So we don't want to smush the hay down before it goes through the hay vine and gets cut. So now he can drive where it's already been cut, and the hay vine will be in the grass that needs cutting still. So now he's going to just continue that probably, unless he decides to go a different route. And that will be about half of our hayfield. So then we will still have to do a route around the other side of our property, which is much less square. There is the pond area and a couple sections of woods and 2 sections of pasture fence that he will have to navigate around. So we'll probably do the same method, which will be to go counterclockwise and around 1 trip around, and then spin around and go the opposite way. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to turn out, but you'll probably be able to tell once we get everything into windrows, and you can see where the hay's laying at that point. It's kind of up to him because he's the driver. So I'm afraid to kind of leave the field, because I'm afraid I'm afraid the second I leave, something bad's gonna happen and he's gonna come up all upset and stuff. So I just kind of want to at least stay out here for a while and make sure everything's going okay. Was gonna put some irrigation in the garden today, but that can wait. I don't think it's gonna take long, and don't worry, I'm gonna show you guys. If you've been following, you know that I have been really struggling with watering the garden and how I was going to do it, because the size of the garden, but I figured it out finally. I can't wait to show you guys. And yeah, hopefully it helps one of you guys out. But I can't see him from here. He is apparently over the top of a hill. We have got rolling hills here, lots of rolling hills. Our property is all rolling hills, which is absolutely gorgeous. It was one thing that we considered when we were in the market for buying a tractor. We kind of were looking at something with a wide front because of all of the hills. Well, we knew that would be safer, especially just coming up into our hayfield. We have 3 different drives that head back in here, and all 3 go uphill. So it was one thing that we really considered was the style of tractor that would be safest going on all of these rolling hills and stuff. So all right, so I'm sweating. Oh God, I am so hot. So I am betting that my husband is as well. So I am going to run down to the house and get some cold iced tea and bring him up a cool beverage. All right, I got 2 iced teas. Sounds like he's right at the top of this hill, so I just missed him. I might have to either run or wait until his next pass. And there's my piggies. the spots in the hayfield are really, really thick, beautiful, long grass. And it's kind of hard for the haybine right now to go through it in certain spots because it's just so thick. It's wanting to get all bound up in there. I mean, this spot right here is just so thick. You can see how thick that grass is. It's absolutely gorgeous. But it did rain yesterday and thunderstorm for a lot of the night. It was still raining and thundering when we went to bed last night. So it is a little bit damp as well. So thick and wet isn't real great for a haybine, but he's getting through it. He's every so often he's got to stop and back and then go forward and back and forward and possibly lift the haybine up to kind of get all the stuff unstuck from underneath it. So, but he is starting his 4th pass around, so hopefully all continues to go well. I brought him some drink, and I think I'm gonna run down and get the weed eater and just start weed eating around the fence under the electric fence line. Wow, since I'm out here anyways, so then I can be doing something a little bit useful. So I'm gonna go do some weed eating and keep an eye on him. Alright, you guys, it is 10 o'clock and it's getting pretty dark, and I am heading out to check on my husband, see how much he has left before our field is cut. He is not a quitter, so he is gonna be out here until our field is completely cut because we still have more hay to cut after this. But I see his headlights over there, so I'm gonna head over there and just take a look around, see how much he has left, see if he needs anything, another drink or anything.